This man, his name is Talese. This year he's 94 years old. He's still going strong. This is his wife, Talese. For decades, they were the first couple of American literature in New York City. And I'm very proud to have him as my mentor. So about 30 years ago, I was in Beijing. I had just graduated from Yale College. And I was working as a high school teacher. But I wanted to become a writer. I was an English literature major at Yale. And so I met some journalist friends who introduced me to Talese. In the summer of '99, he came to Beijing to work on a story. And he needed a translator. So I became his translator for 6 months. And during those 6 months, I received the best education any young writer could receive from the greatest American writer of his generation. He practices an art called literary journalism. And no one else practices this the way he does. So what he does is that he will spend hours and hours just talking with someone, trying to get to know this person, trying to understand the world from this person's perspective. And then after spending days, months with that person and talking to other people around him or her, he will try to draw out a memory from that person and put it in words in a way that resonates with his audience. And he is a genius. And when I mean he's a genius, I mean he is unique in what he does. Every writer we've read this semester, whether it's Homer or Dante, even Talese, we'll read him today, they are unique in what they do. Harold Bloom, the great American literature critic, says that great literature is shocking. You read it and you are shaken by it in a way that you remember forever. It is a deep emotional experience that stays with you for the entire life. It shakes you in a way that forces you to reorientate your worldview. It forces you to better understand who you are, your place in the world, and your understanding of the world. And that's what Talese does. What he does is unique. No one else does what he does. No one else can do what he does. And it is shocking. It is shocking because it transcends time and space. Okay? His writing are able to transcend the time he's writing in and then spread across different cultures. So we will not fully appreciate his genius maybe until 50 years from now, 100 years from now. Okay? So he is mainly known for his journalism. He is the greatest journalist of his generation, probably the greatest journalist of all time. American journalism is dying, so people like him will no longer be able to work. These are his boxes. What's amazing about his boxes is that they are living souls, okay? You can't really see it because the picture quality isn't great. But what he does is that he turns each box into a unique soul with its own time, its own place, its own memories. And he uses these boxes in order to create articles and essays and books. Okay? So he takes memories of life, real memories of life, and turns them into great works of literature. He is mainly known for his book, The Kingdom of Power, which is about the New York Times. If you work for the New York Times, you still read that book today as a young journalist. He wrote a book called Honor Thy Father, which is about the American Mafia. And he wrote an essay, a magazine article called Frank Sinatra Has a Cold, which is considered the greatest American magazine essay ever written. Today, I want to talk about a work that people don't really discuss about Gay Talese. It's called Thy Neighbor's Wife. Thy Neighbor's Wife. And this is a book that is one of the best-selling American books of all time. It sold millions of copies. It made him filthy rich. It made millions of dollars. At the same time, it basically destroyed his career because in the late 70s, when this book was published, he was a really respected journalist, writer. He was a celebrity, and he was married to a beautiful book editor named Nan Talese, who will go on to have a spectacular publishing career. And when you're famous as an American in the 70s, there are certain ways you have to behave. Okay? You have to respect rules and conventions. You have to respect taboos. And at the height of his fame, and this is like his, mid-40s, he decides to do something that completely went against the convention, the rules, the morality of that time. He decided to write a book on sex. And there have been lots of books published about sex before, but the way he decided to go write about this book was itself unconventional. He decided to write about sex. He needed to go into the heart of darkness itself. He needed to explore the deepest, darkest, most depraved secrets of humans. Okay? And so he would spend at least 10 years engaged in all sorts of really strange activities rich, famous men should not do in public, okay? Yes, I understand rich, famous men are hypocrites and they do this in private, but they don't do it in public and let the whole world know about it, and don't certainly write a book about it, okay? But the guy decides to become a manager at a massage parlor. He will go to California and engage in orgies. He will masturbate with other men, but he is an anthropologist. He is trying to understand the complexity of humans. And to do that, you first need to appreciate sex. Okay? So this is a book that no one talks about because it is so controversial. It is so disturbing. It's disturbing because it's truthful. All right? Because it tells us that human beings are ultimately animals. And so I think this is one of the most courageous books ever written because it puts a mirror to us and shows us that we're just basically monkeys. But at the same time, it's also one of the most enlightening, inspiring books that we've written because that has ever been written, because if you look at the act of sex of human beings, it's different from animals, because ultimately what lies behind sex is religion, our need, our search for God. Ultimately, that's why we have sex. If you actually read this anthropological study of sex, then you understand that we humans are first and fundamentally religious beings that seek to return to God. It's something that Homer and Dante has talked about before in the past, right?